Hello everyone, this is Rohit Manoharan from Networkers Home and welcome back to the AWS Solutions Architect Associate Lab Training. For this video, we'll be discussing on how to create a CloudFront distribution. For that, you have to log in into your AWS console. So let's directly jump into a browser and log in to our console. So I am already logged into my AWS management console. The next thing that you have to do is go for services. Under services, you have to go for storage, and under storage, you have S3. So why I am going for S3 is because we need one of our bucket as our origin to the CloudFront. So there are two buckets, and I will go for this first one, which was Rohit Manoharan, and I will click on it. Yeah, and I have two files in it, so I will make this bucket as a CloudFront. So for that, I will take one of my image and let's rename it so that it will be easier for me in the future. I'll rename it as ABC and hit save. Yeah, it's success. As you can see, now we are going to create a CloudFront. For that, you have to again go for services and under networking, and let's go for networking. Under networking, as you can see, we have our CloudFront. We have to basically click on CloudFront. And one thing to notice is that our region is global. Yeah. So basically, our CloudFront distribution is created in global region. You don't have to create it on specific region basis. So you have to just go for it. So let's go for it. Let's click on create distribution. And as you can see, we have two types of delivery method for our content, which is web and the other one is RTMP. Okay, so RTMP is going to be discontinued, means its support is going to be discontinued. And actually RTMP was basically for streaming media. Okay, so this part was for streaming media. For this video, we are going for the web one. So let's click on get started. Yeah, and now you have origin domain name. Okay, if you click on this, as you can see, my all buckets are there. Means rohitmanoharan.s3.amazonaws.com is also there. So you have to basically click on the origin bucket. So I am going for rohitmanoharan s3.amazonaws.com. The next thing is origin path, which means directory inside the origin, which basically means a folder inside a origin. And I don't have any folder inside my bucket. That's why I don't want to click on it. If you have folders, you can specify a specific path. So it's okay. Origin ID is basically they will set for me. So it's okay. S3 Rohit Manoharan. I'm good for that. And what you have, the next option is restrict bucket access, and it's currently no. So if you click on I button, it will show you the details. Whatever details, if you are confused, you can click on I button. It will show you more information. Basically, this one means it will use the CloudFront URL instead of the S3 URL. So I want both, so I will not use this. So it's okay. It's basically useful when you have a signed URL, and under means under we have a signed URL thing. So I will discuss it there. So as you can see, we have connection attempts, connection timeouts. It's all default. So it's okay. Connection attempts are how many times it will take to connect, and connection timeout is 10. It's okay. So all are default. I will leave it as default. As you can see, we have HTTP and HTTPS. I will leave many things as default, and you can actually you can actually know more because it's not that much needed in AWS exam, but it's useful when you click on I button, it will give you more information. So the next thing that I want to share with you is about restrict viewer access, use signed URL or signed cookies. This part is useful, and if you click on this part is useful when you are a media platform or any platform which is using something. If for example, if you are Netflix or Amazon Prime, you need a authenticated URL so that your users can be authenticated and they can be forwarded to your S3 bucket. If you have a film, if you are Netflix, consider if you are a Netflix and you have a film in your S3 bucket. If your user is authenticated through a specific URL, you will forward them to the uh, S3 bucket. So this part is basically that. And we have, so I will leave all these as default. We have one more thing which is very important, which is AWS WAF Web ACL. You can actually attach your web application files in front of the cloud, and it's actually layer 7 files. And we will discuss this later on in the course, so you don't have to worry. So this is just the introductory part that you can attach your web application files in this thing. So it's okay. So what I will do is go for the defaults, and I am okay with that, and click on create distribution. And it may take up to 15 to 20 minutes. So if you want to delete it, you should first disable it. So that will also take approximately 15 to 20 minutes to disable it. Then you can easily delete it. But enabling, and as you can see, we have status in progress. Yeah, we have the status in progress. So it's currently creating the link. So it's currently working on it. So I will continue this video after it's completed. So as you can see, my status turned from in progress to deployed, which means basically now my CloudFront distribution is available and my S3 is successfully attached to CloudFront distribution. The next thing that we are going to do is open a file using this URL. So what I will do is use the abc.jpg, which I renamed at the starting of this video. So I will use that same file. For that, I will go for a new tab and I will copy this URL domain name. I'll paste it and /abc.jpg and hit enter. And as you can see, my S3 is now accessible from a CloudFront distribution. So, which means my origin bucket is now attached. So, Rohit Manoharan bucket is attached because we gave it as origin ID. The next thing that I want to discuss with you is how to edit it out. So, you have to click on the bucket, means you have to just check this and go for distribution settings. And under here, you can actually edit it out. So you have to basically click on the edit button and you can actually change it. So there is a price class and this is not a free one. So you have to disable it after your use. There are more options that you can edit by clicking cancel. And as you can see, all these things are specifically on tabs. So if you want to edit more and more, you have to go for the specific tab. So these are the general things that you can edit. If you want to edit something in origin thing, you have to click on the origin and edit it out. There are specifically each and every tab for this. So you can actually create a custom error page also. If your signed URL and thing is not matched, you can create a custom error response. The next thing that I want to discuss with you is invalidation. So for that, I have already one created. I will basically create one more. So let's create one more. So I will click on create invalidation. And this invalidation basically means if you invalidate your files are not going to be in the edge location because it will be cached to all the edge location. Means not a specific edge location, it will be cached to all the edge location. So if you want to mention all your files to be invalidated, so you can go for / and give a star, which the star actually means it will use the whole uh, S3 bucket. If you want to use a specific directory, consider my S3 bucket has a folder which is images. You can go for that one. Yeah, and you have to basically click on invalidate, which will create it. So it will take a little bit time. As I told you earlier that it is not a free one, you will be charged for this. So the next step that we are going to do is delete this CloudFront distribution. If you leave it as it is, this may cost you something. So what I will do is click on CloudFront distribution, and as you can see, I have my distribution. What I will do is click on it, click on disable, and first you have to disable it in order to delete it, and disable will also take up to 5 to 6 minutes to disable it, and then you can actually delete it. This grade delete will be highlighted, and then you can actually delete it. So I will click on disable and click on yes, disable. So if you are learning the AWS, you have to basically uh, disable and delete it. If you are not, it's okay, because if you're using for corporate, it's okay. So that's it for this video. I will, after this progress, I will basically click on delete and it will be deleted. And thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.